REITs that have been successful at withstanding the challenging economic conditions are those that have had solid balance sheet management and have been able to control costs. And notably for some REITs, it's been especially helpful that they've not had to refinance any debt during these interest rate hikes.
Joining me today is Stacey McEvoy, partner with Hogan Lovells. Stacey, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate being here.
Now, how would you describe the overall health of the listed REIT market?
Stock performance and returns have generally been down, and that's varied a bit across asset classes, with office in particular being down and casinos and student housing on the other end of the spectrum performing better. REITs that have been successful at withstanding the challenging economic conditions are those that have had solid balance sheet management and have been able to control costs. And notably for some REITs, it's been especially helpful that they've not had to refinance any debt during these interest rate hikes. With the increasing interest rates and increasing inflation along with it, we have seen a lot of buyers and sellers struggle to align on real estate valuations. That said, there does seem to be some light at the end of the tunnel, and interest rate increases look to be moderating and are expected to stabilize. And so I would expect to see the outlook for the balance of 2023 to be better.
What trends do you see emerging when it comes to REIT transactions?
As interest rates and inflation stabilize and parties are able to align on real estate valuations, I could see increased joint venture activity. A joint venture offers an alternative to the debt markets, which may be especially attractive to REITs given the higher interest rates, and allows them to monetize some of their assets and utilize those funds in lieu of incurring additional debt. Joint ventures also offer flexibility around structuring, including as it relates to tax and accounting considerations, which may be appealing to REITs as balance sheet management will continue to be a focus. REITs are often able to continue to manage the underlying real estate and maintain an income stream from that real estate with options on the back end to reacquire the assets or perhaps sell the assets. And there are lots of funds and other investors with capital to deploy, and they often find real estate to be an attractive investment given the steady cash flow and the risk-adjusted returns that you often see in real estate joint ventures.
And finally, when you look at the near-term horizon, can you give me maybe one possibly overlooked issue that could impact the REIT industry?
Sure. One possibly overlooked issue is antitrust considerations in REIT M&A. As we've seen lately, antitrust agencies are taking a far more interventionist approach. Although REIT-to-REIT mergers are generally exempt from HSR notification, we saw back in 2020 that REITs at the very least were on the FTC's radar in their advance notice of proposed rulemaking, where they invited comments on whether they should reconsider the blanket exemption for REITs in light of some REITs expanding their activities beyond merely owning, selling, leasing, and buying real estate and engaging now in more operational activities. Even with the HSR exemption though, the DOJ and the FTC are always able to intervene in transactions. While we have not historically seen that to be the case in REIT transactions, to the extent there's a transaction that could result in a significant concentration or consolidation of real estate ownership in a geographic area, particularly as it relates to certain asset classes or to REITs that are venturing into those operational activities, that could draw the attention of competitors or tenants of the buyer or the target and cause concern that it could hinder competition, particularly around rental rates. Such concern could invite further scrutiny from the DOJ or the FTC, as they are more likely to intervene in a transaction when someone, for example, a competitor or a tenant, lodges a complaint about a transaction. Given that, I think antitrust considerations are an area to watch in REIT M&A to see if there are further developments.